Hello, Kenneth Hollins here with hollinsmusic.com and mykeyboardconnection.com. I just want to take a few moments and share with you a few things that I do with diminished chords. It's something that I love to incorporate in my songs and in my playing. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to demonstrate this by using a very short chord progression, and then I'll go back and explain to you exactly how I did it. All right, here's the progression. Okay, I'll do that one more time. Here's the progression. All right, now I'm going to break this down for you. Now, basically what I'm doing is I'm using two different kinds of diminished chords in this particular progression. So now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to spell out all of the notes for you, and then I'm going to go back and explain to you my thinking behind it, so that way you can recreate it in different situations yourself. Okay? All right, I started off with this. All right, this is actually an F diminished chord, and then I have this C sharp here on the top, and I'm going to explain to you how I came up with that. But the notes are with my left hand, F, D. Now this may be a stretch for some depending on the size of your hands, but then also A flat. So we're playing F, D, and A flat with the left hand, and the right hand is playing D, F, and C sharp. Okay? That's a dissonant and abstract sounding chord. Okay? And then we move like this. Okay? So the C sharp moves to B, then to B flat, then back to B, while holding down these other notes. Like that, and then we go here. We play this G flat or F sharp right here. Then we do this. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm playing an F sharp or G flat down here with my left hand, while holding down this G flat or F sharp with my right hand, and then I play these inner notes here. Okay, so the left hand is doing this: E, C sharp, E, E flat, while holding down the G flat. Like that. And then the right hand is doing this. So we're doing C sharp, B flat, C sharp, B, while holding down the F sharp up here. And then we just put them together. Okay? And then we go here. Okay, this is another diminished chord. This is actually a G diminished 7th chord with this D sharp or E flat on the top here. Okay. Now with my left hand I'm playing G, E, and B flat. Okay, that's a nice little stretch. And then with your right hand you're playing E, G, and D sharp. Okay, and then we move like this. Okay, so D sharp, C sharp, A sharp, back to the C sharp, while holding down these notes. Okay, and then we keep moving. Okay, then we go here. Left hand is A flat, right hand is E, B flat, C sharp or D flat. Okay, and then we resolve like this. Okay, this is simply A flat minor. We're playing A flat with the left hand, right hand is E flat and B. Okay, and we move like this. Okay. All right, and then the A flat here goes down to G, and then the B goes down to B flat, while the E flat stays the same. So the outward notes move down a half step. Okay, then we do this. This G moves down to F sharp, but this B flat moves back up to B, like that. So again, slowly. Okay, so the left hand moves from A flat, G, F sharp, and then the note on the top, which is the B, does this. B, B flat, B, like that. So we move, and the E flat is staying the same. And then we move to this D flat dominant 7 chord. All right, let me spell those notes out for you. I'm playing F, B, E flat, with the left hand and the right hand is A flat, D flat, F, and A flat again. And then I press the sustain pedal and play the fifth, the perfect fifth, D flat, A flat, down there. Okay, so once more, that whole progression was this. Okay, and I like to hit those F sharps at the same time. So let me do that again. Okay, that's the progression. Now let me explain to you how I came up with that, some of the thinking that's behind it. Now, basically, I took these two chords. I took the F diminished chord, which is this, and the G diminished chord, which is this. Okay, quickly, real quick, I'll explain what a diminished 7th chord is. Now, a diminished 7th chord is comprised of the numbers 1, flat 3, flat 5, and double flat 7. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. If we were in the key of F, the F major scale would be this. Okay, so the 1 is F. Now, again, a diminished 7th chord is a 1, a flat 3, a flat 5, and a double flat 7. Okay, so the F major scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The 1 would be F. 3 is A, but we want flat 3, so that's going to be A flat. And then we want flat 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C is 5, so we're going to lower that a half step and make that flat 5, which is the B natural, or the C flat. And then we're going to move on up to the double flat 7. Now let me explain to you what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. E is 7, but a diminished chord technically is what we would call has a double flat 7 in it. So a flat 7 would be E flat, but a double flat 7 would be D. Okay? You could, if you don't want to think about all of that, you could say it's a 6. All right? But technically, it's a double flat 7, a diminished 7th chord is. So again, it's the 1, the flat 3, the flat 5, and the double flat 7, which would be the D in this situation, or with this particular chord. Okay? Now, first thing I did is I took those notes and I spread them out. I love to do that with diminished chords to get a bigger sound. So I'm going to take these same 4 notes, the F, A flat, B, and D, and play them in such a way to where it's spread out. And I chose this voicing. Okay? Same 4 notes. That's the F, that's the F, that's the A flat, that's the B, that's the D. Okay, so that's the first thing that I did. All right, and I did the same thing, okay? And I added these additional notes with my right hand, but the foundation of the chord basically is with my left hand. Okay, and then we did it again right here. Right here. This is actually G diminished, and it's the same concept. The four notes to a diminished chord, G diminished would be G, and the flat 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The flat 3 would be B flat, 1, 2, 3, that's flat 3. Then flat 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would be D flat. Then the double flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, flat 7, double flat 7, okay? So those are my four notes, and we're going to spread it out the same way, just to make the chord sound a little bigger. All right? That's my 1. It's my flat 3. I could play my flat 5 right there if I like. It's my double flat 7. Okay? So it gives me a somewhat of a bigger sound than playing it like that. Okay? So that's one thing I like to do, is to take my chords and really spread them out with my left hand to make them sound a little bit bigger. Okay? So that chord again was this. Okay? So now you may be wondering, okay, if the diminished chord is the G, the B flat, the D flat, the E, where does this note come from? The D sharp or the E flat? All right, now let me explain to you how that works. That's a little thing that I love to do. Different musicians do it quite a bit, is where you can take a diminished chord, any diminished 7th chord you want, and then you can play another diminished chord a half step below that one, okay? So instead of the F diminished chord, we're gonna play a half step below F, which is E, and play that diminished chord, okay? So it would actually be this right here. The E, the G, the B flat, the D flat, okay? This would be E diminished. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take notes from this E diminished and put them with this F diminished, okay? Let me demonstrate how we can do that. All right, the first note would be E, and this is what it would sound like. This is gonna be somewhat of an abstract sound, so this may not be everyone's liking, but some people would love this type of sound, okay? Okay, it's kind of dissonant, kind of modern sounding. And again, where did I get this E from? I just simply played a half step below the F diminished, which was E diminished, and it gave me these four notes: E, G, B flat, D flat, okay? So let's incorporate the E again to the F diminished. All right, now let's incorporate the G to the F diminished. All right, the A sharp or the B flat. And then the D flat to the F diminished. Okay? And that's what I love to do. I will take one of those notes, I'll spread out, of course, like one of my diminished chords, and then take one of those notes a half step below and then incorporate it, okay? So that's where this note came from on this particular chord, the D flat. So again, I simply took a half step below the F, which is E, played that diminished 7 chord, and then I just chose this particular note, okay? You could choose any one of the 4 that you want. Okay, very dissonant, very dissonant. And then we do it again. All right, so now we have G diminished. Now, what's a half step below G diminished? G flat diminished. Okay, so what would be the notes to that? And let me give you a real simple way to figure out a diminished chord very quickly. Whatever your root is, simply go up 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Go up a minor third each time, and then you can quickly come up with your diminished 7 chord. And so what I'm doing now is playing a half step below the G diminished, and I'm playing G flat diminished. like that, okay? So now I can incorporate the G flat, I can incorporate the A, I can incorporate the C, I can incorporate the D sharp or the E flat, okay? And I chose, when I played it, I chose the D sharp, okay? So that was my thinking behind coming up with that. And I just simply took that note and then made it into like a little melody, okay? Again, I took that and made it into a little melody, like that. All right, that's it. So that's something that you can do with diminished chords. I would encourage you to take that and experiment with it and see if you can incorporate it in some of the songs that you play. If you enjoyed that, you always can go to our website, hollandsmusic.com, and you also can go to mykeyboardconnection.com, and you can get signed up there where you can get several more lessons like this one, and even more in depth. And you can learn so many things from me for gospel musicians. So remember, HMPI, we're serving gospel musicians all over the world.